Oh boy, folks, the fun never ends. Listen, we're gonna do some Mr. Wizard stuff here, okay? I don't know if y'all remember that show, but it seems like one of my boys have taken apart their PS4. Is that what this is? PS4?
Yeah,
And right here is a piece of aluminum, or aluminum. Is that aluminum or steel?
that looks like aluminum.
Yeah, it looks like aluminum. And it requires thermo grease that goes here, which is right here. What is this called? A CPU or
Yeah,
something?
that's central processing.
Okay, so thermo grease that goes here.
It's supposed to transfer the heat between the processor and the heat sink to
Okay,
evacuate it.
so a quick search on the internet reveals that uh, this thermo grease here, you have to buy it. Well, I'm not gonna buy it because we're gonna make it. Because they said you can use things like diaper paste, you know.
It's got some of the same ingredients in diaper paste.
Okay, all I know is it needs to be a conductive material that won't dry out and stop conducting electricity, and it can't be too greasy where it melts down and runs out. So it has to be of a consistency that holds heat but also conducts and transfers heat. So it has to be highly conductive but also transfer heat to this bar, making it one
And not burn up.
and not burn up in the process. So I think with some automotive products and some other products that I had laying around, I think we can come up with something better. I was going to use some high temp wheel bearing grease mixed with a copper, but I decided against it because this is aluminum, and aluminum and copper creates an oxidation. They don't like each other. They create a chemical reaction over time. We find this in household wiring when you try to wire another piece of old aluminum and copper together, it creates an oxidation. So we don't want to do copper. But I do have some dried up aluminum powder, which is here. This was fine aluminum powder, and I used to use it in paint, to use it for RF shielding, to block radio signals in latex paint. And this is a chip of it that congealed itself back together. So what I need to do is break it back up into a powder if I can. If it'll break up that fine again. I'm hoping I can get it to a good powdery paste.
Looks like you kind of hard.
Yeah, I didn't know how hard it was going to be because I wanted to get it into a powder. Now this is aluminum ground up into a fine powder, like I said. You can buy this stuff on eBay and stuff like that, but they use it for different things. Actually, one of the things that they use it in is gunpowder to make flash powder for fireworks. This is not something that you play with, believe me. But this is safe because it's not fully dry. It's still damp from the latex paint I washed it out of. So it's almost like a graphite now. It's getting real fine. And
You only need a little bit.
I know, that's why I'm only mixing a little bit. This stuff's probably pretty toxic. I suppose you don't want to consume a bunch of aluminum in your lungs, and I don't think it'll go airborne because it's been congealed into water in the past or latex paint. So we got that mixed, and you see it turned gray. It went from black to gray and turned between the two colors. So where do I need to put this stuff at? Right here?
Yeah, on top of the central processing.
Right here?
Yeah, kind of spread it around kind of flat.
Well, what about when you smash it down? Want it flatten out?
Yeah, they say you're not supposed to put too much of it on there.
Because you don't want it to overflow like the rest, right?
Right. So you put enough all around it, and if you want to, probably just a tiny bit there.
No. One side.
Just let it
Yeah,
sit and
yeah. This is not
smash in.
This is not contact cement. We don't need to put it on both sides. I don't think.
The whole rule of principle is the whole thing needs to be covered.
Right. So it conducts heat, right?
Yes.
Transfers heat, rather.
Yes.
All right.
Once it goes down, it doesn't get torn back up.
And so what should happen is this grease shouldn't melt down. because it's made to withstand high heat from your wheel bearings on your automobile.
Which is like way up there.
It gets up pretty hot when you're going pretty fast. So that mixed with some aluminum powder, some ground up aluminum powder that's real fine, should actually do the trick in place of what you need, I think. I'll bet on it. Try that. Okay, we got our grease on there that we made, our homemade grease, and then what, this plugs in here?
Fan cord.
Is that where this goes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it turns on the fan. So maybe I don't have to hear this thing all day sounding like a jet engine, huh? When y'all are playing around with a little game.
That's usually the case.
Does this go inside there like that? Or
Kind of tilt it up,
and then slide it in?
Yeah.
I can unplug this fan, right? For now?
Yeah, it'll still be visible. It'll be easy.
I hate putting back together things that I didn't take apart. Next time, you put it back together. These prongs go through there. A pain in the butt. Okay, over here, right. Gotcha. Okay, so this goes down here.
Those are the USBs.
Okay, that looks lined up.
You gotta press down?
Well, that grease just went down, yeah?
Alright.
Alright, so let me plug your fan in right here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's your fan. And the reason you took this thing apart is what?
It was caked up in dust.
It still looks like there's a little dust in there, but...
It overheated every time you played
look
just
at
a moderate game.
Shit, looks like mop string in here, bud.
Yeah, that's dust still.
Alright, whatever. Alright, so we got our homemade thermo grease, and that was the purpose of this video. Okay, so this goes here, and then this cover went over the processing.
The little modules on the back of it.
Okay, so that went over the Terminator chip.
Yeah.
The T1.
T1000 chip, or whatever.
Alright.
And that tightens down. Pretty much presses the processor against.
Does something else go here, and why is there so much space in between here? Did this go over it?
Yeah, actually did.
Well, thanks. I mean, gee, I hate putting things back together.
Thank you for
Remember what Haynes said. Installation is reversible, removable.
Yeah.
You need to remember what you took apart. Jeez, man. Guys are giving me a workout. I'm ready to go put an engine in. Whatever it's called. Alright. Now what?
Okay, from there,
where are your screws that go here? Do they go in with this? I mean, what goes where? What's this shit, too?
That plugs in the side right there.
This?
Yes.
Which way?
Just like that.
Like this?
Yeah.
Face down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, connectors, facing down connectors.
Yes, pushes in.
And the blue tab is to pull it out?
Yeah.
Why do you pick the most complicated garbage to work on? Let's get this together. Let's get this cover rail back on. Alright. And then what, these two screws go here?
Yeah, after these cover. Turn around. Just like that right there.
Okay.
Hole for the AC plug-in.
Alright. What about in the front here? Ah, looks like it goes over this first. What about this? What's this, a button or something?
Yeah, that's an eject button.
Does it work?
Yes.
Okay. How does it look like it's missing something right there?
It was missing a foot, and I'm not sure where that foot is. I didn't lose it in the process.
So how long has it been missing?
I'm not sure.
But it works?
Yes, it does.
Whatever, these things are pieces of junk. It's not built like a PS3. Okay, so what does it slide on this way?
Kind of hooks on that way, and it's supposed to snap on, kind of presses on.
Okay. Alright. So here's your problem. There. Okay, so that's on.
Alright, so it's booting up
So-
right now.
So it's booting up now? Okay.
Little emblems on the screen, so that's a good indication it's
Let's
working.
keep it against the back of the TV. Yeah, that's a big ass TV. Okay.
So it works.
Alright, so what are you doing now?
So we start a game that it overheats on everybody with.
What's that? Really?
Yes.
This is.
You can pause it. It takes a little bit to
Oh,
come on.
okay.
That's when it should start overheating in a minute or two. If it would overheat. Loading the game takes a lot.
Okay. So
the
we're
fan's
about
not running.
we're about a minute or so into it, and it's still loading.
60%, 70%.
So what? The fan would normally be running by now?
Normally, yeah, the fan would run at full speed. It'd sound like a jet.
Like right now.
It'd sound like a jet airliner trying to take off.
I know what it sounds like, but would it be doing it now on this portion of the game?
Yeah.
Because I don't play this stuff anymore. I can't. My eyes can't handle it.
Yeah. It
Without
would.
vertigo.
Alright, right around here.
All right.
From the PS4.
Why? It should be overheating.
Yep, right now it should. Fans coming on, normal.
Is that normal?
Yeah, for high graphics, yes.
Well, how high should it get?
Let's see how high it gets as I'm moving through the game. Alright, so now it's starting to run all high, but that's kind of normal when this game comes on. In fact, people have made memes about it on the internet. About how the PlayStation sounds like a jet airliner taking off in this particular game.
On this game?
Yes, on this game.
So this is one of the highest graphic games or something?
For PlayStation 4, yeah.
Yeah. I can't even back up enough to get the whole TV. Alright.
So right now, running through, it should. Changing the screen and the colors, looking around should stress out the PlayStation enough to make it want to use a fan.
So what happens when it overheats? Like, what does
When
it
it
shut off?
When it overheats, a blue screen comes around and says, "Shut the PlayStation off."
And
It's overheating.
has that happened quite frequently on this game for you?
Yes, within a few minutes of playing.
Okay, so I guess we'll come back and say if it failed. If we don't come back with an update, it didn't fail, and the homemade thermo grease worked, and you know, we did a Mr. Wizard thing here, and this is not a normal video for us. Alright, just wanted to add some diversity in the videos, since people are complaining so much about how non-diverse the United States of America is. So here's your stupid diversity. Alright, so we're like 5 minutes into it now, and
By now, I definitely would have done it.
okay. So it's still doing that high fan spin,
Yeah.
indicating that it needs to run on high, but it's not.
normal.
It's normal, but it's not overheating. It's not shutting off on you. So now what? We're 10 minutes into it, and you're still playing, and it would have overheated by now. I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yes, it should have.
Like how much? Like a lot, a few times? Would you had to pause it or something, or turn it off?
Usually you pause it like that, and you kind of leave it on that screen. That's what I would do, and it would make the message go away, but then start playing right after.
Really?
And
So you were trying to burn this whole system up then, huh?
Well, sometimes it would do that. I would pause it for about a minute, go back to playing, and it wouldn't do it anymore after that, no matter how much I stressed it out.
Wow.
But yes, definitely would have done it by now. I would have had to pause it to...
So the homemade thermo grease is working, huh?
Yeah, it is. Thermal grease out of wheel bearing grease and aluminum powder.
Aluminum powder, which is kind of controversial to buy because people use it for things they're not supposed to use it for, like pyrotechnics.
We're using it the way we're supposed to.
Yeah, I use it for RF shielding and latex paint, and sometimes oil-based paint. Just depends. But I think it's combustible if you don't use it right. If you don't, you know. I know people mix it with black powder to make flash powder.
It's a
That's
warning on the label. For the aluminum
But
powder.
I used every bit that I had for latex RF shielding to paint walls and stuff to block radio signals.
Yeah, by now we've definitely.
So we just added a conductive material that was of the same origin of the metals that we were putting together, which was aluminum. So aluminum powder, just a little bit.
Aluminum against aluminum.
And wheel bearing grease. And here's your diversity. Here's your video.
Wheel bearing grease so it doesn't burn up and act as a carrier.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Little automotive technology mixed with a little bit of Mr. Wizard, mixed with a little bit of
Modern technology.
yeah. It beats Colgate toothpaste.